Hi guys, I'm Shmi, hello and welcome back to the channel where today I'm at Mansory to take a first look and a drive in the new Mansory Cabrera based on the Lamborghini Aventador SVJ. Now the SVJ is a pretty hardcore car to begin with. This is even more extreme. It has entirely new bodywork. It's also wearing new headlights that they've made for the car. The interior has been completely redone, plus it makes more power and a whole lot more noise as well. We will take a look through the modifications that they've made and also some of the other cars here at the moment inside the showroom before we get a cold start of the V12, bring it into life and take it outside to hop on board and go for a first drive in this mental machine. Let's take a look then at the Mansory Cabrera. Take a look at this. How crazy and wild is this car, the Mansory Cabrera? Now we'll start with a walk around to go through all of the details, but they have completely redone this car from head to toe. The bodywork is now made from carbon fiber, mixing the exposed sections with the Vento Verde satin green paintwork. The exposed carbon like we have up here on the roof and the removable engine bay cover, all with that iconic stealth bomber style weave in the carbon like we saw before on the Aventador Carbonado. Then we come round towards the back and look at how mean and aggressive this thing is. That gigantic rear wing, the quad exhaust tailpipes in the center. They've also created a double diffuser at the back. This is the extreme of the extreme. Now the SVJ is a rare car to begin with. Lamborghini only making 900 of the coupes as well as 800 of the roadsters, but of the Cabrera there will only ever be 3. The number 3 is chosen to celebrate 2020 being Mansory's 30th anniversary, one car per decade, and the name itself actually has a pretty cool story behind it as well. The Lamborghini models are always named after famous raging bulls, fighting bulls, Spanish fighting bulls, in particular the Gallardo and the Miura, which came from the line of bulls called Cabrera, hence the name of this car fitting perfectly to it. You look around the car though, it's carbon fiber everywhere, the full carbon bonnet with this faded stripe painted down the center, a completely reworked design at the front. You still have the aerodynamica Lamborghini Aventador ALA, the active flaps that allow airflow through the car. It's got a new face thanks to the new LED headlights, twin lights on each side that Mansory have fitted into their new bodywork, giving the car a new appearance, a new look, with the running lights that you have just underneath that front edge. But down here, an aggressive and mean splitter, the end plates as it wraps around towards the side, where you have the wheels that have these covers around the outside again, with the stealth bomber carbon fiber that you see just about everywhere as you go around, even on the louvres, the mirror caps, the side skirts, you name it, all around. At the back, you've got the scoop for cooling in towards the engine. You have that shark fin style spine that runs down towards the wing, where we have a gurney flap on the back of it. And just look at those exhaust tailpipes. We're going to hear these starting up in just a moment to hear exactly what this car sounds like with the V12. They've done some small work to give it a little bit more power. It's a 6.5 litre naturally aspirated V12. Normally it would make 770 horsepower. It's now up to 810, 40 horsepower more, and torque goes up from 720 to 780, which means this is blisteringly fast. In fact, its top speed is 355 kilometers per hour. That's 221 miles per hour. But let's come through and take a quick look at the interior as well. Actually, look at the vents. They've even got stealth bomber cutouts in the vents. How cool is that? On the inside of the car, just to grab the key very quickly so that I can unlock it, just got this here, open it up. Inside, again, completely redone. Look at this, the green touches to bring the exterior to the inside, the full carbon door cards, carbon on the steering wheel, we've got the carbon bucket seats, trimmed very much in a sporty, aggressive style. Even the dashboard binnacle as well. Of course, we've got the chime just letting us know at the moment the door is open. We've got the Cabrera side sill nameplate. This is pretty crazy. This is car number 3 of 3 on the anniversary Cabrera model. So I think we should get this started up, take it outside of the showroom, and firstly, I guess take a listen to what this sounds like. It's time then to bring the car into life, so let's hear it starting up, the Mansory Cabrera. That's loud. That's really very, very loud. That's the Mansory Venatus, based on the Urus. We're going to pull this outside. Running lights are on. Wow. Look at this coming on out then. The paint colour is awesome out here. Even the cutaways that you have there with the Stealth Bomber carbon, hoping it's going to stay dry on us. That is cool. That is really very, very cool. Listen to it. So, a first drive. I feel honoured to have this opportunity to jump on board and drive this Cabrera nameplate at the side. What an epic thing. Right, let's get on board, head on out. Here we go then, into gear. We've got the 7-speed single clutch, handbrake off. I'm going to drive it at first in Strada, but when we get out of town, we can go up into Sport and then into Corsa. Now the thing I'm instantly reminded of driving in an Aventador is how, although this is the definitive supercar, it's actually really awkward. The seats are not comfortable. The visibility outside is not easy. It is desperately impractical. There's nowhere to put anything, although we do have a lift system to save the front splitter as we go over the bump. And it's also really difficult to drive thanks to having a single clutch as opposed to a dual clutch gearbox. But when we are on the move, this is where you start to get a little bit of that V12. And yes, in automatic mode, it doesn't work particularly well. They never really have. So one press of the M, at least to drive it in manual, be able to use the paddles, shift manually and drive it, well, slightly more properly, we can say. So in Strada at the moment, obviously this is the more civilized of the road modes. Strada is literally the Italian word for road. Now I'm looking forward to getting to the proper countryside so we can explore this a little bit more. For the time being, I will put it into sport. We do also have Ego mode, which now allows you to configure it. The shifts just sharpen up ever so slightly. And yes, there's that tone, that wail of V12 in the background, which is what we oh so love. Now the windscreen just reaches out almost impossibly far in front of me. It's tough to work out where the front of this car actually is. And the view in the mirrors that stick out so far to the side over the top of all of this Stealth Bomber style carbon give me a great view of that rear wing just sitting up over the top of the rear arches. This car, it's just madness. I mean, the Aventador is madness. The SV and then the SVJ are also madness. SVJ standing for Super Veloce Jota, the old Lamborghini Jota race cars. Super Veloce, super fast, as you could probably work out. It's their kind of most aggressive, extreme series production cars, but the Aventador is reaching towards the end of its line. It will be time for its successor to follow as I kind of duck my head down to be able to see what's coming in front of us. But this revs up to almost 9,000 RPM, and even there, listen to the exhaust. You get a little pop, a little kind of crackle on the upshift, and it's just starting to drizzle, but I certainly hope that's going to stay away, because even with four-wheel drive, we want to be able to have a little bit of fun without it becoming a bit sticky, we could say. So let's get out of town and have a good time with this. Here we go then, drop a gear, we're still in sport mode, get some of that noise. Oh wow, that is a heavenly soundtrack. The downshifts, the crackles that it makes. Like I said, definitive supercar, and now the most extreme example thereof, thanks to the team at Mansory. Listen to that. Sounds like fireballs probably behind us when we go up through the gears. And I mean, I'm not using exactly any of the power here. 810 horsepower under my right foot. I probably need to get a little bit familiar with what I'm driving first. And this, like I said, is just in sport mode. We can turn it up into Corsa when it gets even sharper and more aggressive. Yes. This is absolutely brutal. This car is a fighter jet brought down to the ground. It is just nuts, just bonkers. And Corsa is firm. The ride there, going over some of those small bumps. Obviously Corsa is Italian for track or race circuit. This is much more at home in that environment than it is on a normal highway. So while we're going slower, I'm going to pop it into sport. It's so hard to drive this thing smoothly and gently. Really, really, really difficult. Third gear, take it easy. Just kind of enjoy, chill, relax a moment. We will escape the confines of the 50 km/h speed limit in a moment. And now it is time to drop it down. First gear. like an explosion. That huge bang that went off behind. It's the feeling of power, and so much of it. You have to hold on tight. When you really put your foot down, you have to hold on tight. And obviously with such a big NA engine, you get such a linear power delivery, and there's so much instant torque. There's no waiting for turbos to spool up in this. The Carbonado that I drove before was where they had made it kind of a 1,500 horsepower twin turbo version of the base Aventador. This is like Klingon instant power. It's a big old car on the road as well. Very conscious of that. Let's do a bit of an acceleration. First gear. I tell you also, it's not that easy to drive an Aventador. You're aware that it's a big and heavy car. Yes, the rear wheel steering disguises some of that weight, but it's still a big thing. It's not the easiest drive in the world, for sure. I mean, combining the gearbox just taking a little bit longer than usual to think about, and the difficulty to actually place where the car is. Now, I've been a passenger with my friend Jeroen Mol, who is a Lamborghini race driver, in an SVJ on a circuit, and I could not believe how quickly we got that car around the track, or rather he got that car around the track. I was, of course, just the bystander in the passenger seat, but in this case, it's very characterful. There's no question about that. Just the different things that are going on. The sounds, the feel, the drama, everything that's around you. You're completely immersed within it. Back into the twisties. I tell you what, we're going to have to hear some revs out of this. Oh well, some downshifts as we come towards an almost standstill. I think for somebody to turn around. Now I am going to pull into this lay-by, which I have stopped at in the past in a Mansory Aventador when I was filming with the famous Carbonado, the twin turbo car, because I think we should hear how this sounds. So in Corsa mode, into neutral. Wow. I need to take a listen to this side as well. Ow! That is ridiculous. Oh my goodness. And even just idling, it's so loud. Yes. This is quite an Aventador, this thing. The Mansory Cabrera, and it spits fireballs. Okay, after the fun, back on the road then. It's mad. It's absolutely mad. Safe in the knowledge that those are now fireballs going off behind us. It's like any opportunity. Down to first gear. Okay, at some point the fun has to end. Let's pop it back into Strada. I've not set up Ego mode or anything like that. I prefer with this gearbox to always drive it manually because I find the automatic, you don't know when it's going to want to shift gear and you need to fluctuate the throttle slightly to keep it smooth, so it's better to just do it yourself. Treat it with the mentality of it being a manual until the next generation Aventador, which may indeed have a dual clutch finally, but we'll see what's happening with that given everything probably switching and changing in Lamborghini's plans. But this car, for sheer experience, drama, craziness, this is just completely something else. And obviously the spec of all of these details can be customized. They can be however the owner of the car wants it to be. But I'm just absolutely like amazed by this experience. Even in
Strada mode, it still sounds insane. I just don't think you could go near kind of dailying a car like this like you can with, say, the likes of a 488 or a 720S or something like that. This is not in that category of car. So lift system back up, no damage to the splitter, and we return, enter back up the driveway, and we're back to base. What an experience. I really don't know what else to think about this car. We've parked back up alongside one of the Urus full package conversions as well, but let me show you a couple more details around the outside. I mean, I touched earlier on the double diffuser that it has at the back, the 2 different channels, all to do with aero performance efficiency. Obviously, you've got different layers, all of these crazy fins and design, how you have the vents. I really like how the carbon itself has the Stealth Bomber weave, and then they've lasered out to make the openings in the same pattern. Those exhaust tailpipes look beastly, and they sound ever so beastly as well. The rear deck lid on the SVJ has racing latches, motorsport inspired of course, and on this car, as well as having them on the back, Mansory have also done it for the front. So to release the front bonnet, you have the racing latches in order to take that off. And obviously this is completely changed. The whole front is totally different from the standard car on which it's based. It still has the airflow that can come up through here. You've got the fins inside, all to do with keeping the front end planted down when you're driving at speed. But it's all a completely new design, new shape, reworked in its entirety. Now, to talk a little bit more about the interior, I spotted a few more details while I've been out driving this car. Obviously, you've got the carbon everywhere you completely look, but check out the embroideries as well on the seat sides, on the side bolsters. You've got the same pattern exactly there. Obviously, these are the carbon buckets, Mansory logo up on the headrests. Look at the roof, you've got the green stripe up here, and the start button is actually fitted just up here. That's how you bring it into life. Fold that up and press the button, which is super cool as well. Mansory Mansory Cabrera, what a car. There's a commemorative plaque over on the passenger side. The car also has the Cabrera logo plate just worn there on the dash, which you can see through those small windows by the A-pillar. I mean, everything about it's just insane, right? This is a completely ballistic mental car. Look, even the meshes here. That's really cool. That's attention to detail. Mansory pedals, the name on the floor as well. My bad for getting this a little bit dirty. But yeah, this car is... Oh look, even the windscreen wipers. Even the windscreen wiper pieces are also now made from carbon. And the lower support. What? This is every detail. Every single detail can all be done absolutely how the customer demands it to be when it comes to a car like this. And if I close the doors back down, you can also see the extra width on the bodywork here. Of course, the door is the normal size fitment, so you can see an extra 2 centimeters or so on each side, 4 centimeters wider in total, and just slightly sharper lines that run over. But it's amazing that they create what is almost an entirely new car off the SVJ, which is, I mean, like I said, already bonkers. Now this is even more bonkers. I mean, what more can I say? You've seen the flame balls, you've heard the sound of the V12, you've seen the craziness of the design, and yes, I know these are not to everyone's taste. They're not supposed to be to everyone's taste. These are about making something unique, something bold, something crazy, and that's what makes them stand out. If you see this next to a line of normal Aventadors, this is the one that's going to draw the attention, simply because of how wild this shape and design and aggression of it all actually is. Anyway, what an awesome first drive to be able to see this car, take a look at it, a walk around, go through all of the details, and to experience what it's like. And I hope I've been able to translate some of that into the video. So thank you very much for watching, as always, guys. Thank you to Mansory for the opportunity, and stay tuned because there's something very exciting coming really soon on the Shmee 150 channel. Thanks again, and I'll see you very soon. Cheers!